I gave him a few days off after the game, just to reflect, because obviously it was a disappointing night for us in terms of the result. But this week's been pretty positive. I've given them a challenge. We've got 5 games to go and I want 15 points. I'm clear on that. They understand that, and the training week's been really good this week. So we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. But we're going to a place where it's going to be difficult. We know that they're a very well organised team. In my opinion, they've got some very good players and a very good manager. So we will expect a tough game.
How's your squad looking in terms of injuries?
We've got a few injuries. Balogun's out after his operation. Ridvan's out for the season. Obviously, you know about Dujon Sterling is out for a long period of time. Tom Lawrence still out. And we've got 1 or 2 that only started to train yesterday, part of the training session. They've done another part today. And again, I just need to wait and see. So that's a couple of players that we may have available or we may not have available.
Barry, with all the injuries and the fact that you can't win any trophies this season, you said you want 15 points from these final 5 games, but what's your remit now to approach it? Are you looking just short term? It's just about winning, or is it an opportunity to give younger players or players who might have a bigger role at the club next season a bit of game time?
It's about winning the last 5 games of the season. You'll find out that I give young players the opportunity. I says I'm not going to give young players an opportunity just for the sake of they're young players. They need to show me in training. You've seen over the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks since I've come in, I'm not scared to give a young player an opportunity. But as I said, they need to show me enough in training. And if they do that, then they'll certainly be given an opportunity.
Barry, this week the club confirmed that they're holding positive conversations with a US consortium about a potential takeover. Do you see that as a good sign of progress for the club as a whole?
Yeah, but listen, to be honest with you, I'm not part of the talks. Obviously, I'm the news. I seen what get released at the Rangers Forum at Edmiston House, so it looks positive. We just need to wait and see how long that's going to take, whether it's a couple of weeks or a month or a couple of months. But it's certainly positive news, and it's certainly something that the Rangers fans, I think, will welcome.
As a supporter of the club yourself, if you take the hat of head coach off, just how exciting a time is this for the club with something like this on the horizon?
Yeah, it's something that I've made clear that there needs to be outside investment. I've said it now for a couple of years, so it looks like it's going to be close now. It's just hopefully a matter of time. Whether that, as I said, I don't know. I've not got a time frame on how long that's going to take, but as a Rangers supporter, of course, I'm happy to see that talks are progressing well.
This is your hope. This is the reset the club needs, and that allows it to get back to the position where it can compete and win trophies.
I said last Thursday after the Bilbao game, there's a lot of changes needed, and that's one of the changes. We've seen a sporting director get announced in the last day or 2. So I've always maintained that if the club wants to go and challenge and move forward, there's a hell of a lot of changes needed. But it's great to see that started.
Have you had the chance to speak with Kevin and tell him what's
required
here?
No, I've not, but I will. I've not got an exact day that it's going to be scheduled in, but I'll certainly be sitting down and banging heads together, I suppose.
Do you think that's an important part of the people coming in? They have to be made aware of the special requirements of playing and working for this club, and you've spoken enough. It's not just about enough to be a good player or a good sport director. That's a mental thing as well.
I've always said that you can't just be a good player at Rangers. There's other attributes you need, because there's expectations, there's demands on you, and over the last number of years, the club haven't won enough trophies. Everybody can see that it's not been good enough. So it's good to see that the club are starting to move forward. It's exciting times, and hopefully the changes that are going to be made will make a big difference.
Just on that meeting with Kevin, how much do you expect to have a say in the club going forward? How much do you want?
I don't know. I said that I will have a meeting. I don't know when that is, but when we sit down, I'll be honest and I'll be clear. But it's good that he's an experienced guy. He's been about a lot of clubs, a lot of big clubs as well. So I think it was an appointment that was needed, and I think the club, I don't know him personally, but looking at his background, it looks to me if it's a very good appointment.
Any more clarity in your own future then, Harry?
No.
Will it be hard for you to walk away from
But
that?
I can say, there's a couple of things I can say. If I get the job, I will make my club a better club. If I don't get the job, I'll still support my club. That's the way I'm looking at it. I've got 5 games to go. The final game's on the 17th of May. My focus is on this next few weeks. There's been a few bumps since I've come in. I knew that was going to be the case, but I wasn't frightened of that. But I know what this club needs.
Has this process, this period when you've been in charge here, reignited your, fire for coaching? If it's not going to be here, could you see yourself going elsewhere?
No.
Oh, here only.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because it's my club, and I wasn't interested in going back into coaching, but I got an opportunity I never thought I would get. And I've come in and I've enjoyed every single second of it. Some of the results I've not enjoyed have hurt me. I've went away with it. Listen, I've come back in, ready to face it. And as I said, it's been a brilliant few months. There's still another few weeks to go. And it's not about just coming in here and just enjoying it. I enjoy the challenge of it because it is a big challenge. But in terms of the future, managing elsewhere, no, I had a good life before. I enjoyed my role at Rangers before. And if that's not going to be managing, then hopefully I'll just go back to that and enjoy what I was doing.
In terms of your meeting with Kevin Miller, when we come, you said that you'll be honest with him. Do you think that's what is needed at Rangers? To be brutally honest with each other about players here, the direction the club needs to go in?
I want what's best for Rangers Football Club, and you need to be open and honest about that. And that's the way I will be.
Do you feel more optimistic now about being here next season than you did when you first came in?
No, I never. I just looked at it as a 3-month period where I was brought in to help the club, because what was happening before, it was clear there was a lot of issues. I never looked at it long term. I looked at it more short term to come in and try and sort some things. Have I done that? Yeah, I have. But there's also other things that still need improving, but you can't do that over a short period of time.
Barry, just listening to what you're saying, do you, and the fact you wouldn't want to coach or manage anyone else, do you feel you are the best person then to take Rangers forward under the new regime? Would that be fair to say? I
wouldn't say I'm the bit. What I will say is I've been through the door now a couple of months, and I know the changes that are needed. But in terms of the best, look, there's obviously names getting mentioned who have a lot more experience in myself, but I'll back myself. I always will back myself. Listen, I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I know I can do the job alongside the staff that I've brought in. But we just need to wait and see. Look, as I said, I'm not getting carried away. I'm not thinking further ahead than the game on Saturday, I'm being honest with you, because we're going to a place where it's a difficult place at the best of times to try and get 3 points, so we need to make sure we go there. And as I said, I gave the players a challenge in the next 5 games.
If you're asked,
they need to take that, or they need to look at that challenge and they need to go and meet it head on.
Sorry, if you're asked to stay but in a different capacity, so not a head coach, would you entertain that, or is it head coach or nothing?
No, I'll go back to my role as club ambassador.
But in the football department. If you're asked to do different.
No, listen, I know you're trying to get out of me here, but I'm going to work with somebody else or whatever. I know what I'm going to do, whether that's manage football club or go back to represent the club and an ambassadorial role.
If the league is finally wrapped up tomorrow, would that be a kind of painful moment for everyone here? Will it make it kind of real at that point that how far you have to go?
Well, it'll be painful for me. It'll be painful for my staff. It'll be painful for the supporters. And I want it to be painful for my players. Because you're at Rangers and we need to start properly challenging for trophies.
Thinking back to the days when you were a player here and you were coming off a pitch and then seeing scenes of Celtic lifting titles. I mean, what were those memories like for you? What were those days like for you as a player?
Horrible summers. But I was ready to come back in and work my backside off to make sure that didn't happen again. It's sore when you see your fiercest rivals win trophies. You don't like to see that. It should make you even more determined. And hopefully that's going to be the case next season.
Barry, can I ask you about the personalities of some of your players? You've spoken about it in the past. You have to be able to deal with playing at a club like Rangers. Is that something you can see straight away when you came into the club? And can you almost change that in the players, or are some players just knocked out for it?
No, it's something I identified, and when I first took the job, it's something when I sat down and I explained certain attributes you need to be a Rangers player. Because you're under pressure. As I said, there's demands and expectations every single time you cross that white line. You're expected to win games, you're expected to win trophies, and if you don't, you're going to come in for criticism. And when you get that criticism, you need to handle it. I come in for a lot of criticism, it's not nice, but you know what? Made me even more determined to go and prove a lot of people wrong. And that's what the group of players need to do in this short period of 5 games. We need to go and show, or they need to go and show that they want to be part of this club going forward.